Let's discuss diodes first because they are the simpler of the two. A diode is a small electronic device which only allows current to flow in one direction. Think of it as a one-way gate. A diode has two ends. One is a cathode and one is an anode. The cathode, which is marked with a stripe, allows positive current to flow out of a standard Bosch-style 12-volt relay rated for 30 to 40 amps depending on the model. It contains 5 terminals labeled 85, 86, 30, 87, and 87A. Terminals 85 and 86 are the coil terminals. In between them is the electromagnet. When a current is applied across these terminals, the electromagnet Normally, when no current is applied to the relay, terminals 30 and 87 are connected. But when current is applied to the relay, terminals 30 and 87 are disconnected, and terminals 30 and 87 are connected. Let's break the relay down by terminals. Terminals 85 and 86 are the coil terminals. One terminal will be connected to ground, and the other will be connected to If we look at the included installation diagram for this alarm, we can see all of the inputs and outputs the alarm has. Which ones we need will depend on the vehicle it's being installed in and the features we desire. Compare this with the vehicle wiring diagram, and we'll know which wires we can remove. Some installers will cut or tape off the unused wires, but I prefer to remove them completely using a small screwdriver. This is neater, and if the feature is desired in the future, the pin can be inserted back into the harness easily. The 3-wire system comes in both negative and positive trigger varieties. Both use factory relays to activate the locks, but the positive trigger type will likely need 2 polarity reversing relays to interface with the negative outputs provided by most alarm systems. Let's begin with the negative trigger type. Here a press of the door lock switch sends a negative ground signal to the factory relay. Then we can turn one end of our multimeter to ground, usually the black lead, and probe the wire with the other lead. It speeds up the process if you can secure the probes in place with alligator clips. We verify that the wire is the correct one by simulating various events such as opening a door or cranking the engine and watching it to see how the wire reacts. It's these reactions, along with our vehicle wiring diagram, that lets us know I'll start the installation by finding a place to bring the siren wire into the vehicle. You can use an existing factory grommet, or you can drill a hole in the firewall. After the hole is drilled, install a grommet to protect the wire as it goes through the firewall. To mount the siren, start by drilling 2 pilot holes, and then mount the siren using sheet metal screws. Always aim the siren down so that water can't accumulate in the siren's voice coil. Using a ring terminal, also ground the siren under one of these mounting screws. The other siren wire will run back into the vehicle to connect to the alarm brain. Now on the alarm you should hear a chirp from the siren, the parking lights will flash, and LEDs should begin flashing. The door should lock if you had that feature installed. If the alarm triggers immediately, you'll need to check your pin switches and the sensitivity of your sensors. If the system didn't arm, you'll need to check the main power fuse and main ground connections. If these are okay, then check to see if the antenna is receiving a signal. You may need to get very close to the antenna. Enter the car and rearm the alarm. Make sure the vehicle is in park and try to start it. It shouldn't start and the alarm may go off. Some alarms don't disable the starter unless the vehicle alarm is triggered. If this is the case, you can open the door to set the alarm off and then try to start the vehicle. If the vehicle still starts, you'll need to check the connections for the starter to disable relay. Also, if the alarm starts when armed, but won't start when disarmed, you probably have terminals 87 and 87A on the starter disable relay backwards. We attempt to obscure the installation from the view of thieves that might make it under the dash. Basically, you want the installation to look as factory as possible so that it doesn't draw attention to itself. This is the main reason we try to run our wires along the factory harnesses. One of the best ways to obscure wires is to wrap them. Hopefully your installation will look similar to this one when complete. When it does, you can replace the factory panels and congratulate yourself on a job well done.